Give everybody just a second. Give people a minute to get on. We'll go ahead. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to our very first Facebook IGT Live with Lucid Polish. I am Canada, founder and owner of Lucid Polish, and have been a licensed cosmetologist for 27 years. So I have brought this product to you at home so that you can have amazing professional quality nails. I'm going to teach you some amazing tips and tricks. We're going to do this once a week, every Wednesday, 8 p.m. Eastern time, and cover different topics. And then we'll have Q&As, and hopefully you can gain some amazing knowledge. So tonight I have a few questions to answer, which I'll make sure get answered, and we're going to go over a removal as well as just an easy application so that I can show you how insanely easy this polish is to use. So everything that you need is in one bottle. So most gel systems, you need 3 bottles of polish. You need a base coat, you need the color, and you need the top coat. In this system, everything that you need is in this one bottle. So not only does it save you time, it saves you a lot of money. So we will go ahead and get started. My daughter is my cameraman, so we'll kind of be talking back and forth. If you have questions, shout out. She'll share them, and we'll get started. So I kind of have a little bit of different things going on. Obviously, there's nothing on this hand. This hand, I have our Valentine collection, which are 4 amazing, beautiful colors. I'm going to start with the gel remover and how this works. So with having the base, the color, and the top all in one bottle, it's not a separate top coat, so I don't need to etch this with this system. Now, we do have a top coat that you can put on if you want additional strength or shine, or just are a top coat user. If that is the case, you need to make sure that you file off that top layer just a little bit. You just need to etch it so that the gel remover can penetrate. Secret that one of our avid Lucid users has shared with me is that she found if she stores her gel remover upside down, it makes it easier to get out because it kind of seems like there's nothing in there. It's super thick and just goopy, which it's supposed to be like that. So you literally will kind of goop it on, and it just kind of looks gross, but you just move it around and get it on there. If you get it on your skin, remove it. It will start to tingle and not feel real good. This does not have paint thinner in it. It is organic, 5-free, all those good things. I have done my research. Also, for those of you that's really important, too, about having formaldehyde free or paint thinner free or acid free or any of those kinds of things. We are bunny certified, which means we have gone through a certification process. I'm leaving that on its side because it's easier to get out. But we have gone through a certification process for those of you that know Leaping Bunny, that we have proved that we do not have harsh, gross chemicals in our products. So what's really cool about this is that it is so thick, you're gonna see me do other things while this is removing. So again, just getting it on there. And we're gonna let it do its thing. One of the things that you will notice with our remover is when you put it on, it should not burn. If it burns, something is not right, because it should not burn. But you're going to feel like a weird, I don't know, it's like almost like a tightness on it, and it's just the reaction of it. And I don't know, Taylor, if you zoom in, you can kind of see on this one how it's already just starting slowly to do its thing. So we're going to just let that sit. It does need to take about 15 minutes for it to work. So while that is working, I'm going to show you some just really easy steps on how to put your polish on. So some people think that just washing your hands and then putting the polish on works. And then I get questions all the time about their polish peeling off or chipping, and it's because their nails were not properly dehydrated. Now, these nails are kind of shiny. I've been doing some testing with them, doing some demonstrations with our strength gel, which is a whole other video, and that's why they're kind of shiny. These haven't had strength gel on them until like yesterday, and that's why they're short, because I have short, crappy nails, and if I don't have strength gel on them, they look like this. If I do have strength gel, they look like this. So I'm going to be really careful that I'm not going to touch anything with that. But one of the most important things about a healthy manicure is pushing those cuticles back. For those of you that have cuticles that have grown up on your nail bed, the best trick is when you get out of the shower, just take this cuticle pusher. It's amazing. And just slowly push those cuticles back. And it might take a little bit of time if you have some crazy cuticles that you have not maintained. And then the secret after pushing them back is to keep cuticle oil on them. And you can see my strength gel on this one. You can see how long I've had it on. Can you zoom in, Talon? You can actually see a little bit of polish right there. But it's grown all the way out to here. So I haven't had anything on these except for the strength gel. And you can see it starting to grow out. Does that light a little better like that?
Yeah.
Okay. So the first thing is pushing those cuticles back. We do with every kit, we give you these cute little thing. It's got all the directions on the back and all the how-tos and that good stuff. So you go in and you shape your nail. I am working on my right hand with my left hand. I am not left-handed. So the trick with that is instead of trying to file like this with your non-dominant hand, just use your finger and slide your finger back and forth and just anchor that file. And just file like that. So you're just moving your finger. I probably need to really shorten these ones down, but we won't focus too much on that right now. I think more importantly, it's just showing you the process. Our strength gel, you're gonna hear me talk a lot about it. It's not a necessity because some of you have amazing, beautiful nails. I do not. So it is a necessity. I have super weak, thin, crappy nails. This is really, really important. When people say, yeah, I buffed my nail, you need to buff your nail, not etch it and destroy it. But see how I'm getting that light powdery dust? And I have a little bit of polish underneath my fingernail because I've been doing all kinds of things, but I'm just dusting it with the softer side. There's two different sides of our file and making sure I'm getting all the way to the edge. So you should see all of this dust or you're not getting it buffed properly. That is really, really important when you are applying our polish because it will not last like you want it to and you're gonna have chipping, lifting, peeling problems. Okay, so one of the questions that I had earlier today that somebody had posted was just tips for a first timer. Follow the steps, and if you follow those steps and then the tips and tricks that I am giving you tonight, it really is foolproof. It is not hard at all. But if you do run into something, direct message us, email us, reach out to us on our page. We have a live chat. I am here to help you because I know, and there's quite a few of our users out there that know that this is amazing. I mean, we have people that, right now we have 54 colors and they have half of them. And we have been on the market for 2 months now. So it definitely is something that works. So if it's not working for you, I encourage you, please, please, please reach out because it's something that I can help you with. See all that dust? We need dust, okay? That is proper buffing. Then what you're going to do is we have this fancy little brush. This doesn't come in our kit. One of our kits, our premium kit comes with this brush, so you can use this brush to dust it off, or this one, which is really soft and pretty, and you can kind of get rid of all of that dust on there. Okay, so you shouldn't see any shine, you shouldn't see any anything but just kind of a dusty nail. How are those looking, Tay? See how that one's starting a little bit? It's kind of fun. It's hard not to pick at. It's not ready, but I always prematurely do that because it's just so much fun. So not ready quite yet. And I'm just going to, where I took that off, get that covered back up. And you can reapply this too, because if you're like me and super impatient, I'm gonna go ahead and just pick that off. Super impatient, I just wanna see how long I really have to sit here before I can scrape it off. So that's okay. You can always put more on. I got some on my skin and you'll definitely feel it. It doesn't burn, but you'll feel it for sure. You guys are also going to see, once I can get this ready to scrape off, I have strength gel underneath this, and you'll see that it'll penetrate down to the strength gel, and then it'll kind of slow down and stop, because honestly, we don't want that strength gel to come completely off. But if it does, then we can go in and buff it out and put on another coat, so it's no big deal. Okay, so next thing is our nail cleanse. This is an alcohol wipe. One of the questions I had was, can I just use my own alcohol? That's fine. You want it to be like 90% or higher. And you need to use, you can use either this brush to put it on, or a wipe or a paper towel. But this part is critical. You really have to get that entire nail, get all along the sides here, and then you need to get the tips too, because if you don't get the tips, that's when it starts to pull away or do weird things. Okay. All right, so I'm really getting up under that. It's kind of hard because I can't use my fingernail, but I can still, I'm pushing really hard up against that skin and go through twice. If you do have problems with a little bit of chipping at the tips, just go back and do it again. You also, if you wanted with this wipe, just put some more alcohol on that wipe, okay? All right, so you can kind of see where they're like a little dry, dehydrated. Perfect, that's exactly how we want it. I chose tonight Ocean Waves. This is one of my faves. You shouldn't need to shake it or move it around because it is a thick consistency. You guys can see this. And so I get that question a lot, is they're like, I need to thin my polish out. Do not thin your polish out. Do not put thinners in this gel. It will ruin the formula, and it's designed to be thicker. So here is a huge tip. When you open your polish bottle, circular motions are up and down like this, and circular motions like that. See how it comes out nice, neat, clean? If you just go like this, you can see you're going to have a mess. And then you gotta carefully get it back in there. A good way to just keep control of it is not have too much polish on your brush at one time. Okay, so, and this is good, I'm doing it on my non-dominant hand so you guys can kind of see the struggle, because I know the struggle. Rest your hands on something. Don't try to float, because it's really, really hard. And you're always gonna start in the middle of the nail. One of the ways to keep it out of the cuticles is people try to start right down here at the bottom. And if you have too much, it's gonna flood and it's just gonna go all over. So start in the middle just to see how much you have on your brush first. And if you have too much, it's in the middle of the nail, and you can go put some back in the bottle if you need, or you know you have enough. Now I'm just gonna kind of push in. And because it's my left hand, you're gonna notice that I'm just a little shaky, and that's okay. I feel like I need just a little bit more on my brush here. It gets easier once you put the other hand or the other fingers down, because you can rest them. And I'm gonna show you how to do some cleanup as I get a little bit in my cuticle. And again, I'm doing my dominant hand with my non-dominant so that you can see that even professionals struggle with those things, okay? You can use the Cuticle Pusher, as I have remover all over it. Better get that off. And you can go in and clean up. Now again, I'm left-handed, and you can see how uncoordinated I am with that, okay? Here's the trick, is if you have it absolutely everywhere, don't put it in the lamp. Clean it up first, and then cure it. Because once you cure it, it's gonna be all stuck in there. Another trick that I have, which I'm gonna move on and I'll show you in just a second, because this isn't going to cure, it's not gonna dry, it's not gonna do anything until I put it in the lamp. This stuff's slowly starting to move. Yeah, ooh, I'm so impatient. I just wanna scratch it all off. Okay, so let's move on to this one. Now my hand's a little bit more steady because I can rest it flat. And I'm just gonna start a little ways from the cuticle. I'm gonna wipe some of that off because I can tell I have a good amount. I don't want it everywhere. I wanna get as little cleanup as possible. And then I'm just pushing into that cuticle. So let me tell you what I mean when I say pushing in. So I'm starting here, and see how I'm pushing, that brush is on my nail. I'm sliding it down to that cuticle and then fanning it out. A little bit too much on my brush. I'm gonna wipe it off. I'm gonna start away from the cuticle, and then I'm gonna just fan it out. Get that edge. Get over here.
Wait, okay.
Good?
Due to poor connection.
Uh-oh. Well, I have a poor connection, it sounds like. Sorry, guys. Pushing into the cuticle, fanning out. I'm going to leave that because I'm going to show you how to go in and clean it up. Okay. Now, before I cure it, I'm going to clean it up. We have these amazing little brushes that I did not open before, so hang on. Okay, so this is our cleanup brush. I'm going to just take regular old alcohol, and I'm just going to pour just a tiny little bit in the dish. And I'm going to dip my brush in there. It was kind of crusty because it's just brand new, and I shouldn't say crusty, just stiff. Just get the excess off. And you're going to take it, too much, you don't want to flood it. And I'm just going to go clean up a little bit around. Let's see where that came away. And those cuticles. I have really deep sidewells here. So I'm going to actually, on that one, take this little guy. I'm gonna rest my hand so that I don't dig into it, and I'm just gonna pull that straight out right there, around that cuticle. Okay, and I tipped that one just a little bit, but it's okay. Then over here, Taylor, if you wanna show them the lamp, you have 99, 60, 30, 10. I have you cure for 60 seconds. This is an 80-watt lamp. It cures at a professional level. So if you have a lamp at home, I'm not saying it won't work. It just probably is not 80 watts, but you're gonna cure for 60. You can put your hand in and it'll just start timing. Otherwise, you just put it in there. I've had questions of, gosh, it gets really warm when I put it in the lamp. That could be for a couple of reasons. And then I didn't hit 60, but I know that it started at 120. Couple of reasons on why it's called a heat spike when you put it in the lamp is if you have really thin, weak, brittle nails, this lamp is so high power, it's doing a really fast, intense cure so that you can get the best cure on your polish. Another reason is that if you put the polish on really thick, the polish is trying to cure and get through all of those layers. So thinner coats are better, not saying a thicker coat won't cure. This is a very, very highly pigmented polish line. There are a lot of our colors that we could get away with literally one coat and you're done. All of us have been to where we're getting ready, we're ready to head out the door, and we look down at our toes and our open-toed shoes or our sandals, and we're like, oh my gosh, my toes look hideous. And you can put it up on me if you want so they can look at my face. So this is one of those things that you literally could like etch it really, really quick, throw a quick coat on, put it in that lamp for a minute, and you're done. Out the door, like nobody's business, and you don't have any dry time. You can put your shoes on. So as long as it takes for you to actually just put it on and put it in a lamp, that's all you need. Let's see here. So you guys can see how pigmented, I nicked this one's, but we're gonna ignore that. But you can see how pigmented it is. So if I was in a super big hurry and I was like, I gotta get this stuff on my nails, I need to get out the door, I'm good. Completely dry, 100%. All right? So you can go in and do a second coat if you want. You can go in and do some glitter, whatever you want with that, but you're done. That's the craziest part. Let's jump over here and see how this removal's going. And I'm just gonna kind of scratch this off. And you can see where I got it a little thicker and it worked a little bit better. It's really fun. And that's the part too, is I scratched that. I'm gonna show you a trick on how to get that off if it doesn't completely remove as good as it should. Because there's still product in there, so I'll show you the trick. I have a tendency, like I had said already, I get pretty impatient, and so I'll show you how to just kind of buff it off because that product is on there still. And so if I wanted to sit here, I could actually, I mean, you can see how easy it comes off. But I'm all about like, let's get this done and over with because I got 45 other things I need to do still. Okay, so you just grab your file. Again, it's your preference, but you don't want to scratch and damage your nail. You can see if you get down here a little bit, I'm hitting my structure of the strength gel. I'm going to flip over. But if you just lightly go along, you can just see how that polish is coming right off. Because that remover's still in there. And like I said, if I wanted to sit there and scrape at it, I could. But I didn't obviously get it on as evenly as I should have. So I'm just gonna get rid of this and scratch that off. Another one of the videos that I'm going to do in our lives coming up, and maybe what I'll try to do is get a schedule out for you guys, but I'm gonna show you guys how, if you have a favorite color that you always wear, when your nails need to be done, if they're in good shape, how to not have to remove all of it and kind of do a re-gel, basically. Saves you a ton of time. You could do it like you're peeling a potato. Just kind of have to figure out how to use that file on yourself. Doing your nails is just kind of becomes whatever you do. I've watched some people do their nails and I'm like, that's impressive. I don't know how you do it like that, but whatever works. And I did not get that on evenly at all. And that's why it came off so good in parts. Never mind the background noise of the ice machine. Some other questions that we had was getting warm in the lamp, first time tips, cleaning up the cuticles, chipping or peeling problems. I think I answered all the questions that came in today. So if there are any more that pop up, please let us know. I'm gonna throw just a little bit more on that because I don't want to file my own nail and damage it. This is the part that gets a little bit tricky for me with the remover, and I'll tell you why, guys. It's because I am a professional nail tech, and the way I do removal is with an electric file. But that is not something that I want a lot of people at home doing because you will destroy your nails. So you have to be really careful, and that's why I wanted to develop a product that you could use at home that is safe and won't destroy your nails. Okay. I don't worry too much. If I'm gonna do a dark color that's darker, the same or as dark, I'll be honest, it doesn't matter if you get 100% of it off, as long as it's really smooth, which I'll show you how to smooth your nails out before you apply it. Just scrape that last part off. And you can tell on this that my strength gel has grown out as well, because I painted these earlier today for some photos that we wanted to take for our Valentine collection. Our site right now is up to 30% off, site-wide, anywhere between, I think it averages between 25 and 30, depending on what it is. And every purchase you get a free gel remover. All right, then what you need to do is after you get that off, go in and just buff them down. So this is what it should look like when it's done. And I left that one naked so you could see because I removed it earlier. And then you just smooth it out. The reason you have to smooth it out right now of why I am is because I have that strength gel underneath there. So I just want to make sure I didn't scrape into it and smooth out any polish that's on there. This one you definitely want to use the softer side. Push back those cuticles. And then this is another little trick. If you don't have, these wipes are super, super handy and very, very inexpensive, but you can just dip your brush in some alcohol too. And get that all cleaned off. Looks like I actually got some red underneath my nail here.
Taking a video of like all the prices of like eggs and orange juice and gas and everything in 100 days.
Don't mind my son just having a conversation in the background.
Did you see that video that took that one money?
All right.
$1 billion? Yeah.
So that is a removal. I can let this alcohol dehydrate and dry. And that is another really good tip, is do not put the polish on until all of that is completely dry. So you can see that it's all still wet. Fan it, get that all dry, and then you can go in and do your reapplication. Cuticle oil, super, super, super important. These are very, very handy. They come in your kit or you can buy them separately. They fit your purse. You can put them at your desk. You can literally have them everywhere. They are so convenient. You just literally reel it up and put your cuticle oil on. This one I gotta reel up just a little bit more because it's brand new. Maybe a lot more. There we go. Now I got a lot. Nice little lemon scent. So for our first live stream, you kind of got to see the removal process and the application process. Again, questions, struggles, concerns, we are absolutely here to help you. So do not be afraid to reach out, and we will see everybody next Wednesday. Thank you.